So we're going to make a tropical house kind of flute with massive. We're going to design this sound more or less, and we're going to play those notes over here. All together again. This is a template we have another tutorial on, and check the description for that. And I'm going to copy this track now to replicate how you make this kind of sound. So let's solo this copy track and get rid of all the elements on this track and drag a new instance of massive onto the channel. And now we have it with the init patch. So this is how it sounds like when you start. And now we need to apply our changes over here. We are going to select different waveforms for our sound creating oscillators. The first oscillator you have different curves over, like wavetables over here, and I'm going to use the drive 1 over here, and I'm going to use it a little bit more here. Let's turn those off and listen to it. So this flute is actually part of our new Tropical House Volume 2 Massive Presets pack, and there's a link to that one in the description. But I'm going to try to replicate it with this sound over here. And now this is how we start. Doesn't sound that obvious to start this way, but let's go on and let's select the second oscillator. That is going to be a carbon, the carbon wavetable over here. And let's turn it on as well and drag the wavetable position up, go down a little bit with the intensity, and also put the amplifier up a little bit. And the third one is going to be, in this case, actually some of those wavetables, it really doesn't make that big of a difference which one you're going to use. In the end, it's always like a question of how do you want to have it sound like. But I'm going to use the guitar pulse over here, and I'm going to use this wavetable position more or less, and going down a little bit with the intensity as well. And this is a little bit, you can mess around with this. It's not a rule to do it this way. I'm going to use bright noise down here and drag up the amplifier quite a bit, because that's what's actually going to make this flute kind of sound. So this is going to get those bright frequencies. We're also going to use a little bit of modulation over here, maybe a little bit of ring modulation. Phase as well, and also a little bit of now we're going over to the filters. We're going to select the double notch filter over here and use the cut off a little bit as well, and well, I think we're going to use a lot of resonance. I guess we have to stay there with the cut off, pretty much exactly in that position. And then we also use a second filter In that case, we are going to use acid. Let's turn it up all the way for a start and put on some resonance as well. And also we need to put down the envelope of the fourth envelope a little bit. That sends the information of how much of the sound are we going to use and send to the amplifier. I'm going to take the decay levels down a little to have it more fluty. Actually, you can put on a macro control over here and tell it to say add decay. You can also mess around a little bit with feedback if you like to. That's really open over here for playing around a bit. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to send this envelope to the amplifier over here and give it kind of and now we are going to apply some effects as well. Let's use a reverb and put it up pretty wet, and also use the size and color stay like this. Maybe we could also use you can also use a flanger, but I think it has to be a negative one. Let's make this one optional as well and put it in here. And add in some flangers if you like. And we can also put on the EQ to get a little more high shelves in there. Sounds pretty much like a flute already. Now we can also mess around a little bit with unisono if we want to. Over here you can make the sound a lot fatter by adding in more voices. But let's stay with one for now and also talk a little bit about vibrations and put up the rate and maybe automate the depth over here in that way. And you see how it starts vibrating, and that's pretty nice as well. And also we could add in another key trigger over here and maybe apply it just a tiny bit. So if you want to use that one more, as you saw before, the double notch filter, it kind of really increases the pitch if you turn up the cutoff over here. And if you do that with the key trigger, and it will have the same effect basically. There will be some pitching going on. That's a simple tropical flute sound with massive, and you can put on more reverb if you like to, or EQ it in a different way, more high shelves, or add more voices in over here. It's really up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Try it out yourself. If you're interested in a bank of massive sounds, check the description. Well, subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.